So welcome to the Rhonda Radio Hour. This is Laz with Arana, and we're interviewing him today about his experiences and what he's going through now. So if you wanted to introduce yourself, Laz.
Well, my name is Leslie with Arana. I was born January 10th, 1980 in Birmingham, England.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty fun there.
How long did you live in England? How old were you when you left
I
England?
was there for maybe 6 months, not
Oh,
long.
okay.
But I'm a British citizen. I just needed the passport.
Yeah, see. Your mom was
So,
smart.
We're geniuses, eh? So we went back to Sri Lanka, where my parents are from.
Yep.
And I, played with monkeys, played with bananas, and speaking different languages. It was great. It was a lot of fun, and I had a great time with my family.
And when did you come to Canada?
1982.
Oh, that was that late. Were you? What's your happiest memory from Sri Lanka? Childhood memory.
When I was in Sri Lanka, I just remember my family. I just loved my family. I was I remember a little bit about my young aunt and stuff like that, and it was so beautiful. It's a beautiful place, and
Can you?
it was a happy time when you're a kid.
Yeah.
It's just a happy time,
Okay.
because no problems, nobody cares. Bad things never happen.
Can you describe your aunt a little bit more? What was it about?
She's a teacher.
Yeah.
She's math, and the ironic part is she's quite very strict, but she's like a lovable, nice, wonderful person. All her students love her, but she's the one that does discipline.
Oh.
So she actually has to do the corporal punishment, which is kind of ironic. But
She's your favorite.
she's fantastic though. Great
Nice.
person. She
Nice.
has two daughters.
Yeah.
One of them is autistic,
Yeah.
and her name is Pumi. And I have another cousin, and she is just married actually.
Yeah.
Her name is Watsala,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's not. I don't know much about when I was 2 years old.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah.
So how old were you when you came to Canada?
1982.
Yes.
Yes.
So you were
So
two.
I was back to Canada,
Yeah.
and I went to Edmonton.
Yeah.
So when I
Have
was,
you been in Edmonton since? Did you have only lived in Edmonton?
yeah, I've always lived in Edmonton. Actually.
Okay.
I was. I started out I think on Jasper Ave actually.
Oh, neat.
There's a big what you call apartment or whatever, and it was really kind of a cheap apartment or whatever, and it was in I think west of Jasper, at the end
Okay.
of Jasper,
Mhm.
right?
Tell me a little bit about your family.
My family,
Yeah.
my family is very great. I love them, but they're my family, so they have their quirks and stuff.
Yeah.
My
Families
dad
do.
is kind of strict,
Yeah.
but I love him so much. He's very caring. He works very hard, and he's intelligent, very smart guy. He has 2 degrees. One is in engineering. I think both of his engineerings have to do with mineral and
Oh.
metal engineering. And he actually worked in a mine when he was
Yeah.
before 1982. He was
Yeah.
basically going to the mines, and it was a graphite mine.
Yeah.
So that was cool. You know, I'm very proud of my dad too.
And do you have any siblings?
I have one sibling. His name is Dinesh.
Yeah.
Dinesh is a genius. He's like, I don't know how, but he's very nice. Like in so many things, and that's difficult sometimes when you have, you know, when you're building a person like a robot or whatever.
Yeah.
You basically have so many different talents and so many characteristics that you want, right?
Yeah.
And there are so many that my brother has. And, intelligence, kindness are the two ones that I think of, because, you know, it takes a lot of time and patience, because I'm an oaf. I'm like a mean oaf sometimes, and I'm like I'm still idiotic.
When
So,
you were a kid, did you and your brother get along really well, or
yeah,
were you?
we were brothers, so we
Yeah.
fought when we were young. We used to get into trouble. We used to scrape my knees with each other, not with each other, when we fought with each other.
Yeah.
We fought all the time about the remote, TV remote.
Oh.
And even before the remote, we fought when we had
Who would turn that button?
dial or whatever.
You should do that in the camera. Show me again. The motion for changing the. Oh, look at that.
Dial. Yeah.
That's so high tech.
Yeah.
Did you
I
also
think
have an
actually
Atari?
One of my dials was like this.
Yes, I had a dial too that was like a.
It's not like this. It's not volume.
No,
It's
no.
like,
We only had two channels too. We had
So-
CBC, and then you had to click, 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 CTV.
what I remember much about was Gargoyles. Gargoyles was a TV show called on
Called-
Disney Afternoon.
Ooh.
Disney Afternoon had these other cartoons like Gummy Bears, Tailspin, DuckTales. I used to love these cartoons. And they were so great, I thought, because there was 2 hours, I think, of
Yeah.
footage on the afternoon on Sunday or whatever, I think. And it was amazing. I thought I was the luckiest person
You.
on the world, because now everything is one thing or another. You know what I mean? It's like you have instead of having like your cartoons on Saturday, which are, you know,
Yeah.
you get, you know, 20 different cartoons, and then it ends, right? Now you don't have any cartoons,
Yeah.
absolutely, unless you have a cartoon channel or whatever. I think that's ridiculous. I think that when you have the cartoons change the society, actually.
Yes.
Because when you have kids going on Saturday, it's not it's playing, right?
Yeah.
And thinking, and all these other creative things happen when you have that Saturday morning cartoons.
Do you think the Saturday morning cartoons can also be a statement about how society is going in general? Like that they've gotten more violent, or do you think it's more the other way, like chicken and egg?
all cartoons are the same? Actually, I think the cartoons are really making kids. They're made for toddlers sometimes.
Yeah.
It makes it the thing they try is that they make people who are 6 years old all the way up to 12, or but
Yeah.
there's no cartoons that are really fun that are when you're 12 years old or 10 years
Okay.
old, until
Want to
14
develop
or
that.
15. You know, little those cartoons I had that I loved were like Transformers,
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, She-Ra, He-Man,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. And there were so many cartoons, and it made me realize that I'm not, I can't have those things anymore, and I feel like the world is a little lost because of it. You know what I mean?
Because of growing. Do you want to talk a little bit about the times in between, like how we met, like going? I know we met in a psych. Is that something you'd be interested in talking about, or?
Sure.
But how did that start?
See, honestly, I will say that I have had 2 strokes.
Yeah.
I've had a bad memory from the very start. So I don't remember everything about Rhonda.
About how we met in the Alberta hospital. How did you get?
I wanted to have a whole channel about Rhonda, but
Okay.
yeah, but I'm not. I guess I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, if you want to know about how I went to Alberta Hospital, it's actually a little bit of a story.
Yeah.
I was 1998. I was 18 years old. I went to university as an engineer, studying to engineer, right?
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of money because I had a wallet. I lost my wallet.
Okay.
I lost my tuition.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell my parents. I just tried to get, the money that I had enough to buy these textbooks, which are hundreds of dollars, right? So I just depleted my scholarships and all this stuff because I lost like this, I think it was $500 in my wallet. It's really a lot of money. It's the most money I've ever had in a wallet before in my life. So I'm a big fan of the MasterCard. But so I was in that was the start of my little downfall, I think, a little bit, because when I went to engineering, I wasn't able to study properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't getting the best books. I wasn't focused as much as I should have. I just kind of, coasted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was unable to come back to a level that I was when I was in high school. When I was high school, I was, doing incredible marks in calculus, 90s, and I used to do almost all my subjects quite over 85%. I had incredible marks. I had so much ability back then in terms of mentally, at least. But when I was in engineering, I kind of changed that a little bit because of that situation. And I gave up almost. I honestly gave up a little bit, and I just realized I'm not gonna do well. You know what I mean? Like instead of getting like 80s and 90s, I was lucky to get 55s and 65s at most.
Yeah.
And my courses just were.
Just kind of squeeze in here so I can put my cell phone on the charger.